Alright everyone, welcome back to another Shoutcast match brought to you by Ratgoska. Up here in the northern position on Shattered Temple we have FXO's Sheth. And spawning down here in the bottom left corner, that is going to be 6 Arcane, or Check 6 Arcane, who is currently ranked 14 Masters, so that's pretty good right now. It looks like Check 6 is going to be a pretty good team. Looks like he's talking about going into MLG, which is cool because I'll actually go into MLG Columbus, so hopefully that's what they're talking about, and that'd be pretty cool to see. According to this, and then we've got FXO's Sheth, which is Team FX Open, which you can see them at teamfxopen.com or fxopen.com. And let's definitely see how this game gets underway. Bringing you another professional replay played by these two players. I would definitely favor the Protoss in this matchup just because they are spawning in close positions right now. But Sheth could definitely get a nice sneaky expansion over at the third base. So we'll definitely see how this gets underway. Meanwhile, the probe looks like he's just setting down here to block that natural expansion from the Zerg player while getting his gateways up and getting the rest of his building set up. But it looks like we do have a gas and probably a pool build coming up from Sheth, as he does now have that drone going right into position. Meanwhile, we do have that gateway coming up right now and getting an assimilator as well, so we'll definitely see how Arcane gets this damage going. Protosses have definitely been favored a lot lately, though. If you've ever noticed, they're definitely a lot of the almost every finals I've seen so far is a Protoss versus somebody. And lately, it's been a Protoss versus a Protoss, which is pretty interesting. And hopefully, it doesn't work out that way for my tournament. I'm actually hosting the first Ratgoska Open, which will be taking place next week, actually. And for more information on that, you can visit www.thestarcast.com. Go ahead and sign up there on the tournament thread page and get yourself a spot for that tournament. Chance to win some pretty decent prize money, $35 for first place, and I believe it's $15 for second place. Meanwhile, we do have 4 Zerglings now being produced by Sheth, as well as getting that Cybernetics Core and that Zealot put up as well. Meanwhile, here, let's see how what's going to happen here, as that probe is now running away. That probe should be able to make it back to its base with its life intact, checking for any kind of proxy pylon shenanigan, and it will be getting that expansion up hopefully very, very shortly, as he will need that economic advantage as much as possible. Warp gate research is now underway and getting that first stalker out as well, so it looks like we should be transitioning from early game to mid game here very shortly. 6lings on their way out, not going to be able to do too much here, as they do have this Zealot able to basically hold this off. Only one Zergling gets in at a time, but Sheth doing some amazing micro, sending in the strongest Zergling at a time. But those Zerglings do decide to run away before that Stalker gets out. And now a sentry being produced, so he can force field that ramp if he needs to ward off any kind of banelings or anything like that. Meanwhile, we do have another hatchery going up here as well, so he's getting ready to take that second expansion and has that Overlord in a nice position. So we'll definitely see how these players progress here. Those Zerglings are starting to heal up, and let's see if he does decide to poke up that ramp again, or if he just decides to sit here down and here at the bottom. Looks like he is going to push up that ramp again, sees that Stalker, and decides to pull out again. Meanwhile, trying to go for that Zealot again. Looks like he is going to try and do some damage this time. More Zerglings now rallying outside the base, and we do have 8 Zerglings now in production. No Baneling nest yet on the way, so you can't possibly be trying to go for a Baneling bust, and getting that second queen out, going to throw down that creep tumor and move his way out to his natural expansion. Meanwhile, we do have those Zerglings trying to just poke up that ramp, maybe force an early force field from this sentry, just to keep it from doing any kind of building up of its energy. And yay, Cat's knocking things over on my desk. Awesome. And it looks like, yep, this pylon is in great enough position that if this one goes down, he will have these ones here as well. Meanwhile, the Zerg expansion is now up, transferring drones down there. Still only has the one gas over here to the side, so we'll see what kind of tech path that the Zerg player chooses. Meanwhile, we do have a nice small force here pushing out of sentries and Zealots, kind of force fielding himself into his own base and throwing down that Nexus right at 400 minerals. There he goes. Bam! Nexus going down. So we'll see the Protoss player getting onto his Arcane getting onto his second base income. Meanwhile, we now have an evolution chamber going up for Sheth and getting several more drones as well as a few more queens. But not really a huge attacking armory for him, so if Arcane chooses to push out right now, he could do some pretty sick damage, as he does only have this small group of Zerglings, and it looks like they are going to be just getting ready to harass that expansion. Is he going to let that expansion get sacked? And yep, loses that expansion. Hopefully he got that cancel on that in time. If not, that's definitely a lot of money down the drain, and with his money sitting where it is, I don't know if he actually got the cancel on that or not. But it looks like he will be getting ready to throw down that expansion yet again. Nope, deciding to throw down some extra gateways this time. Possibly going for a, was originally probably going for an expand cancel, where he basically throws up the expansion, fools his opponent into think he's going for early Nexus, throws down gateways instead, and does some sick, like 6-gate pressure, and pretty much steamrolls his opponent, which we've seen in a lot of tournaments lately, where they fake that expansion Nexus and then actually just have a couple gateways building in the back, cancel that, and then shoot out some massive amounts of units. Meanwhile, we do have the Zealot Sentry Stalker force pushing out through the middle of the map, forcing here some pretty significant amounts of damage. We do only have these few Zerglings out right now. And will he get a couple force fields off? No, does decide to go for the Guardian Shield instead to protect against the Queen's damage of 4 damage a hit. Quickly taking out those Zerglings, doesn't get a force field on that ramp, so more Zerglings do get out of the base. Would love to have seen a force field hit that bottom of that ramp. Is focusing down, getting those spine crawlers taken down. Meanwhile, we've got a lot of queens here. Drones being pulled off the line, taking down Zealots left and right. Zealots falling, but drones falling just as fast. Another round of Zerglings gets down that ramp. Definitely not good for X6 Arcane, or Check 6 Arcane, as he is going to lose a lot of his force here. Is not going to be able to take this down, I don't think. Meanwhile, he is forced to retreat. Definitely could have gotten a couple of force fields on that ramp and would have been able to do way more damage. But meanwhile, it looks like he is just going to go for this one Overlord kill, getting more Zealots here now warped in, as there is a huge Zergling force now. Roaches on the field for our Zerg player Sheth, and we'll see how he does decide to transition on this. Couldn't get the spine crawler down. Queen still alive and kicking here. No queen at this base, so he did manage to take 1 queen down. If we look at the army tab, we've got Check 6 Arcane at 53, Sheth 54 at 52, so he's just a little bit supply blocked, and doesn't look like there's any sign of an Overlord. Now the Overlord is being produced, so he's going to be follow just a little bit behind. Meanwhile, we have Check 6 Arcane bringing in here another force, as more Zerglings are streaming in. With this pylon here, though, he is able to warp in new units. Let's get this UI out of the way so we can watch the extent of this battle. Queen's being taken down quite handedly. More Zealots and Stalkers being morphed in. Will he be able to get this taken down? Does a nice transfuse on that Roach to keep it alive. Will he be able to transfuse the second Roach? No. Queen's running out of energy. More Stalkers being warped in right now, taking out those Roaches. Now he's focusing on those Overlords, possibly to get him supply blocked again. But it is not going to work. He is currently at 48 of 52. Now there he goes again, getting supply blocked. Will he be able to take down the rest of this force or not? It will be close. Working on getting that spine crawler taken down, pulling those Roaches off the line just so he can get away from that spine crawler. Now focusing in on those Roaches. More Zerglings streaming down. These Zerglings are going to be able to do massive amounts of damage to those Stalkers. Meanwhile, there goes the Roaches, and a GG well played from our Check 6 Arcane. FXO Sheth takes this match. Hope you enjoyed this game. If you like it and more like it, please subscribe down to my channel down below. And if you need any more information about the first Rakghoska Open Tournament, please check my at www.thestarcast.com in the forum section. There's an announcement thread that leads you to the tournament page. Other than that, thank you for tuning in, and hope you have a wonderful day.